In this video, I'll show you how I prepare several canvases for oil or acrylic painting and get the biggest bang for my buck. I can make several paintings out of one 4-foot by 8-foot board, which I buy at home improvement stores for about $18. I cut this board with a jigsaw. If you don't have the proper cutting tools, you can ask the staff in the lumberyard to cut it for you for a small fee. Here you can see I've cut two 5x7 pieces, a 16 by 20 piece and a 26 by 32 piece, plus I still have over half of my material left over. Cutting your own painting surfaces is inexpensive and allows for some creative aspect ratios or unusual shaped canvases. Now let's stabilize these boards from warping. I use acrylic gesso in white, which you can find at most art supply stores or online. I use a regular house paint brush and designate this as my gesso brush so I don't accidentally ruin my good brushes. On the back of my canvas board, I paint a border all the way around, followed by two diagonal lines in the middle. This little trick will help stiffen your board and prevent warping as you paint on the other side. I do this to the back of all of my own boards, even the little ones. Lay each of your canvases on a flat surface to dry. When the back is dry, it's time to gesso the front sides. I use a generous amount of gesso and spread it around evenly. I like to paint on masonite board or particle board because of the smooth surface. This allows me to achieve some interesting visual textures as well as controlling the softness of my rendering. As you prepare your painting boards, be careful so you don't get the gesso anywhere except for on your canvas. Once dry, gesso does not come out of clothing, carpets, or furniture. When you are done painting the front, lay each canvas on a flat surface to dry. Here you can see brush strokes in the dried gesso. If this does not appeal to you, it's time to start sanding. For the first layer, I use a coarse sandpaper like 80 grit. If sanding by hand, you can wrap the paper around a flat block for a more controlled and even surface. Using an electric sander will make your job and your canvas a lot smoother. I usually apply 2 or 3 layers of gesso and sand in between each dried layer, making sure no bare wood is exposed. I finish it off with a higher grit sandpaper like 180. Now you can make affordable canvases any size and shape you want that are easy to transport and durable. Happy painting!